I totally remember the early days of my own side project. Man, I was fueled by nothing but coffee and pure adrenaline, coding away late into the night after a full day at my 9 to 5. The dream was so alive, but let's be honest, so was the burnout. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are going to talk about how to harmonize your hustle and actually build something you love without completely frying yourself in the process.
So let's start with a moment of real honesty, just you and me. Take a good hard look at your side hustle. Is it still that source of joy and creative fire you imagined? Or has it started to feel kind of heavy? Almost like a second unpaid job that's draining you way more than it's fueling you. I know, it's a tough question, but answering it is the absolute first step to finding a better way forward.
And this, right here, is what we call the side hustle dilemma. It's that moment, and we've all been there, where your ambition just crashes head-on with the cold, hard reality that there are only 24 hours in a day. It's where the dream meets the deadline, and wow, the friction can be intense.
We all start with the dream, right? That amazing promise of creative freedom, maybe a little extra cash in our pocket, and just the sheer pride of building something that's yours. But for so many of us, the reality turns into a very different story. It becomes a story about being constantly exhausted, about deadlines slipping through your fingers, about feeling totally isolated, even when you're technically connected to the whole world through your work.
Man, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Hustle culture sold us this idea, this myth, that to succeed we have to be on 24/7, just grinding relentlessly. But what that whole narrative conveniently forgets to mention is the massive, inevitable burnout that's waiting at the end of that road. And let's be super clear, this is not a personal failure. It's the totally predictable outcome of a completely unsustainable model.
So, okay, if the old hustle and grind model is broken, what's the alternative? Well, it's not about finding some perfect mythical balance. Honestly, that's just a recipe for frustration. No, it's about shifting our entire mindset to something way more powerful and way more sustainable. It's about harmony.
So what in the world is work-life harmony? It's a total perspective shift. Instead of seeing your day job, your personal life, and your side hustle as these separate buckets all competing for your time and energy, you start to see them as one interconnected ecosystem. Think about it. The skills you're sharpening at your 9 to 5 could be the secret weapon for your side project. And the passion that you pour into your hustle, that can totally reignite your energy for your day job. It becomes this amazing upward spiral where everything feeds everything else.
Here's a really great way to picture the difference. Balancing is like a constant juggling act, right? It's this precarious game of spinning plates and you're just terrified one is going to drop. It makes your priorities compete with each other and it always leads to burnout. Harmonizing, on the other hand, is about creating one integrated system. It's not about juggling. It's about weaving all the different threads of your life together into a fabric that's actually strong and sustainable.
Okay, theory is awesome, but what do we actually do about it? How do we get this harmony in our own lives? Well, that's where the Sustainable Hustle Toolkit comes in. We're about to dive into 3 concrete, practical strategies you can literally start using this week to go from that feeling of constant juggling to a state of sustainable flow.
So this toolkit is built on 3 super simple pillars. First, we're going to talk about mastering your time. Second, we'll get into the crucial art of managing your energy, which, trust me, is even more important than managing your time. And third, we'll talk about how to build and maintain healthy boundaries without feeling guilty about it. Ready? Let's break them down. Let's kick things off with pillar number 1, time. A seriously powerful strategy here is to adopt theme days. Instead of constantly switching gears, you dedicate entire days to specific mindsets. And you have no idea what a game changer this is for your brain. See, every time you switch from, say, a spreadsheet to a creative design, your brain has to pay this little tax. It's called context switching, and it just drains your focus and your energy. By theming your days, like admin Tuesdays for the 9 to 5 stuff and creative Saturdays for your side hustle, you stay in one mental zone, which allows for that real, deep, efficient work we're all after. Now, let's talk about pillar 2, energy. Here's a life-changing insight for you. Time is finite, right? But your energy is renewable. So I want you to try something called a personal energy audit. For just 1 week, grab a notebook and jot down the tasks, the people, the activities that drain you, and the ones that energize you. Be super specific. Maybe that weekly team meeting leaves you feeling totally wiped, but 30 minutes of brainstorming for your side project gets you completely fired up. The goal here isn't just to notice this stuff, it's to start architecting your week around it. Schedule something that energizes you right after something that drains you to consciously refuel. This is how you stop running on empty. And finally, we've got pillar 3, boundaries.
Now, this might be the toughest one, but honestly, it's probably the most important. A simple but incredibly powerful tactic is to implement a digital sunset. Just choose a time every single evening, say 8 p.m., when all work screens get turned off. No exceptions, no, oh, just one more email. No mindlessly scrolling through work feeds. This creates a non-negotiable line in the sand that lets your brain truly disconnect, recover, and be present for your life. And remember, this isn't about weakness. It's about strategic recovery.
All right, we've talked about the problem, we've talked about the big mindset shift, and we've got a practical toolkit for change. So what's your next move? It's time to take these ideas off the screen and actually bring them into your life.
So let's do a super quick recap of our Harmony takeaways. First, please ditch the frustrating myth of balance and embrace the much more powerful idea of harmony. Remember your 3 pillars: time, energy, and boundaries. Your energy audit is the key to unlocking what actually fuels you, and that digital sunset is your secret weapon for real recovery. And above all, just remember the sustainable growth is all about smart integration, not just brute force effort.
So I want to leave you with just one final question. Looking at everything we've talked about, what is the one single thing you will do this week to start harmonizing your hustle? Are you going to try theme day? Are you going to do that personal energy audit? Or maybe implement a digital sunset? Just pick one. Start small. Build some momentum. Because your passion is absolutely worth pursuing, but your well-being, that's non-negotiable. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.